Well, welcome back to A Nurse's Voice. Today we are with Chelsea Hobson. Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, Chelsea, you are not only a traveler, you've also written a book about childhood diabetes called Dancing with Diabetes.
Yes, I have. He's written in English and in Spanish.
Oh my gosh, we love that. Could you talk a little bit about what inspired you to write this book?
So I have been a nurse going on 4 years, about to enter 5-year period. And as I was working at just different hospitals, I noticed that the education was still just kind of boring. And they would hand out, pamphlets to children and, to the families. And I just thought, okay, I understand that they have this prognosis or they have this new disease process or their life is different, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. And that doesn't mean that when we discuss it, it has to be, in like a manual or a pamphlet. So why not add a twist or make it fun and make it where it's a conversational piece and something that the children can understand too, because a lot of times the words are, they're fancy, like they don't understand, like they're first grade or they're second grade, they're like, okay, what does this even mean? Like, does this just mean that like I can't go out to recess now? So they wouldn't even understand what's being stated. So I thought, okay, well, let's make it fun and change that narrative.
Well, fun. And this book is personal to you. So could you talk about why you wrote a children's book?
Yes, so I've been a type 1 diabetic going on 21 years. I was diagnosed when I was 5 at Le Bonheur, actually, in Tennessee. And so I thought, you know what? I, as a child, would have loved to see someone who looked like me on a book. Or I remember there was only one book and it was back to school, but even that book is in a sense kind of outdated now because there's so much more information, there are so many resources, the technology, the financial aid. And I just thought, okay, well, why not add that into a book? And then me and my mom, we would actually always dance. So that's where I got the Dancing with Diabetes, because we would always, anytime it was time for insulin or if my blood sugars were 100, we would make it a game and she would give me $1 anytime my reading was 100 or something. So it was always a fun time. And I thought, why not make a book about that? So
I love that. I love that so much. And your book is doing very well. So do you have plans of writing books about other childhood diseases?
So it's so funny. The plan originally was, okay, I'm just gonna write about diabetes. And then as I started going to different venues, I've been in Abilene, I've done venues in Dallas, just recently was discussing things with Dexcom in North Carolina. And so as I've just kind of chatted with different people and different families, it's crazy because immediately they're telling me about other ideas. So like, okay, well, what about autism? Or, what about sickle cell? Or what about vitiligo? And I just thought, you know what? Actually, maybe I shouldn't be selfish. Let me talk about all the disease processes from A through Z. So then now I've kind of created a whole brand, which is OK Love Bugs. And through that brand, we will follow the characters, Olivia and Kyle, will follow them and then their little dog, meeting other children with other diseases. So I'm currently working on the next big thing, which is sickle cell. So,
Wow. Well,
yeah.
have you had families of children or children themselves reach out to you about how this book has impacted them?
I have. When I go to different, like it's almost kind of like workshops or just like business fairs or book fairs. So many families will come up to me and we'll start chit chatting about the book, and then they'll say, "Oh my goodness, I just appreciate so much like how you've just made it simple. I finally feel like I can just kind of breathe." And that's been my biggest pitch, is just I want this to feel like like conversation. I want you to feel this is a safe space and that yes, life is different, but that doesn't mean it's bad. We just have a little few extra steps and then we keep trucking along. We can still go to recess, we can still have a good time. So
Oh, they can still go to birthday parties. They can still do
Yes.
everything.
Yes, we can still have cake, you know, we just gotta count our carbs. We just gotta look at our little Dexcom, you know. It doesn't mean that life stops, you know. It's okay.
It's just different.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And so you're traveling still. And
Yes.
so how has this been like balancing traveling with the book tour and writing and all of that?
Honestly, I don't even know how I do it. Alyssa, who's with Travel Nurses Inc., she is amazing, so kind, so sweet. She always checks in. But I work nights, and then it allows me the flexibility to be able to write my book and do meetings and do class because I'm in a current course for sickle cell just to better educate myself. I take that course in the day. So I don't even know how to answer that. I think I'm just going off of adrenaline at this point.
One step at a time, just taking it
Uh-huh.
one day at a time.
Yes.
Wow. Well, we are so proud and so grateful to have amazing travelers like you. So thank you so much for joining us. And be sure to come back to the next episode of A Nurse's Voice. Thanks,
Yes.
Chelsea.
Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.